All right, welcome back, everyone. Another Sunday weekly watch list. We're at you. Hope you guys having a great day. Had a great weekend and ready for the upcoming week ahead of us. We're going through this, last quarter as we mentioned in our previous video. Things can get changed throughout the years, throughout the months, and what we do is just mainly focus on seeing the best opportunity and taking advantage of what we are trading at. So hopefully this session will give you guys more ideas of what I've been trying to do and what are the best trades that took place last week, and what are the best ideas that you can achieve from these recaps and apply it to your trades every single day. I try to be give as much as information, tips to you guys, and hope you guys take a notes, learn from it, review it, and apply it to your trading strategy. Or if you don't have a trading strategy, make sure to study in a better way. And I do offer a one-on-one session. You can jump on the call with me and we go over that, and then I will definitely do my best to help you out to achieve this trading journey for yourself. I mean, this is a great time to learn as the market really slows. It's really good to have that time for yourself to study, because market is all about adaptability. As I think I said that so many times. It's all about adapting yourself to the market condition. Get ready, get yourself educated, and learn every single day that you're doing. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to our watch list from last week that we had. Few runners, less than the other. The 2 weeks ago, we had more tickers has been running, especially in the on the last Friday of the September. Things got kind of we saw a lot of actions as the market were shift towards these last quarter of 2022. So this is one of those cycle that you always have to make sure you can like I said before, you can adapt yourself to it. So first day, first Monday of the month, we had FNGR, great runner. We mainly focus on this one on the Monday, and I personally traded this mid float runner. Huge value came in on this particular one on Monday. As you guys can see, I pull up the chart for you to see that Monday throughout multi-days runner, because this stock was basically a multi-day runner, and then few fade out after the first day run, and then that's usually normal. So you gotta expect that the pullback, and then hold the threshold and support level at right around $5 area, and still that $5 area, it's pretty strong for a couple of days, as you guys can see. For the entire week, that $5 really $5.30 really holds that price range for it, and hold all the gains that needed to be held. FNGR was really like a huge gap at the open, and as you guys saw in the channel, I mentioned a few times, the great time was the open, and then the pullback, a lot of range. You can see that the trend line kept throughout the day and to the afternoon, and then another squeeze up into the after hours. I personally am not a huge after hour trader, but for those that traded this in the after hour, congrats. This was a great runner, and this was the only stock that has been running during the day. So there wasn't any other candidates that you can take a look at and make sure you can see that maybe they will run and get all the attention. So this one by itself run throughout the day, and it was amazing trade that we had. So I personally think that all these range are still valid. There are so many valid points, and the volume still can adjust if there will be any fresh news or possible filing. Maybe some insider action can really drive the price back up. FNGR, it's really a meat flow, but the action was totally a low floater action. The entire pump on Monday. So FNGR, great runner. I will personally expect this to kind of hold that range, and if it's gonna really fade out and crack this $5 range, it's not gonna be a good good setup anymore on it. But so far it has this consolidation throughout last Thursday and Friday, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, anything could happen, but I will look for my trend line, where is that and what area that I'm looking at, and I also really stick to my plan if I'm going to retract this and possibly revisit if some areas that break through gets to that new high of the day of new high of the week from $10, or like less than if the $8 range really break through and hold that area, and usually it can indicate more volume if that $8 breaks. So that can be a good sign, but obviously we don't want to see dilutions going on or some insider filing happening. So keep this one on the watch. Make sure that checking on the scanner, we send out all the news that coming in right after the company posted. So that's one of the great things that we do basically. But keep on watch. I mean, have it on the on your back pocket. I would definitely look for this throughout the week. Next one on the watch list, we have AERC. AERC was actually came out with a PR. The stock had this PR before our Monday start last Friday. In the after hours, they released the news. I think it was regarding a technology, the merger agreement with the FDA, some sort of news in that range. I will send that to the watch list so you guys can take a look at it as well. So we had this play, and it was very solid because I think that day we had this AERC runner and FNGR for the I think it was mainly this one and FNGR were running that day. I believe there was another stock there was a micro penny BTB, because I personally mentioned it in the channel. Whoever took that, it was a great scalp pattern, but I don't have it on the watch list because usually these micro pennies are not really valuable to have them for your watch, at least for this particular BTB. But we had this AERC at the open. The news came out, last Friday. So possible new buyers were at the place. I mean, you could clearly see that the new buyers can really pump this stock up. So we spotted it, and it was a great trade throughout the day. Usually, AERC, I'm very familiar with this stock. It's been an old puppy. I know this one for a while, and they try to bring it back with some sort of news again, and that was their news runner, and great setup. Usually considered as a B plus setup, and we nail it. And I personally think that this will not really get back above that this revap area with the really low volume. It would be much difficult for this stock unless if they will release another PR, which could possibly run this back up, and then we can have this range. But I will personally have it on my back pocket because I want to see that if we can really get into that cover pop deep area, and then possible scalp to really like the range of 430 and 450, unless if the fresh volume just showed up, and we don't have any other runners except AERC, so we can expect that this could run and possibly go back above the $5. That's one of the all the possible runners that can really you can really expect that had some range, and there are so many ranges right now. It's at this lowest RSI, so I would expect this to really come out with another PR if it's gonna run back up, or you can possibly get into the cover pop, but it's not recommendable. Obviously, the range is not there, and the potential short on this is still higher than as expected. I think AERC has over. Let's see. So AERC has over 5% short flow, so it's less than what it expected. So it can definitely get shorted again, but it's a lower float, and I think that day it was on a SSR. Be cautious if you were shorting into that range. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are interested to really short these small caps, but you guys have to make sure that you have the plan for it, and it's not on SSR, and if the news is valid, try to avoid it. Not gonna don't bother yourself with this. So let the range go back, and then try to get into the fade out, and possibly there will be some rewards at that area. So for now, it's just very consolidated to the downtrend right here from the $6. Above the $6 was I would expect this to really break through that $6, but stock couldn't really hold its gain so far. So yeah, AERC, and then yes, multi-day runner SNTI. We talk about this stock for, I think I mentioned it in last week too. A great runner, multi-day runners from Thursday throughout Monday, and the last week it has this huge gap up towards the 877 max area. Um, could really go above that 877. I was expecting this thing to really run towards the break of 10 9, if the 9 breaks possible, 10, because the stock is relatively lower float. It's been consistent runner so far, and not forgetting that the last Friday they released the dilution at the $4. So it could, I mean, you can possibly see that if you were holding this overnight or swinging this for a week, the best area to take a profit was, through these pumps, and making sure that your plan go ahead. And then once that kind of news came out, you really need to be you have to be very cautious, because when a dilution coming in from the company, it's better to always exit, and then retrack if possibly, consolidate and hold, and kept the price to the pattern, and the trend line holds. Otherwise, just avoid it. Don't really trade this one, and that's what I'm expecting. If this thing's really cracked down this $4 area, which possibly can happen, I would expect $2 range for this, and this can really go down much more lower. So after that, you can kind of like adjust your plan and see if you want to retract it and replay it, but make sure that if there's any reward in that dilution area, because it still has this dilution going on. So it's very risky. Make sure this thing can really hold its gain, and you definitely lock in profit, and just pure day trade on this one, in my opinion. And usually when the dilution happen, they really can run the price back up to the 5 6, the range that it was before, and then dilute it again. That's normal for all these pump and dumps. You got to make sure that you kept your plan at the right spot, making sure that your entry is right and all that. So SNTI definitely on the watch list. I mean, it's been on the watch list for 2 weeks, and we traded at the right areas, key areas I mentioned in the channel, where to take your profit, and make sure that your plan is really something that you can adjust it, and don't really bag hold on these crap, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, they're just they're just scammers. They're just companies that are they don't have any value that they can really provide you in terms of investing. So it's purely day trading. Keep that in mind, as I mentioned that 100 times to you guys. So make sure that you follow your plan. So next one, we had Kit. This was a really like a scalp play, and wasn't personally wasn't really give this too much. Really small scalp setup on Wednesday. Came out with the news. I think there was some sort of contract between U.S. Defense Innovation Unit, something in that regard. The pattern is there. They could pump this up another. I mean, it's possible, because it looks like an IPO. I believe it's an IPO. If I'm yes, it is an IPO. Industrial. So you can expect this to have some sort of run, but I would personally not going to have this on my main watch. Definitely in the back pocket. If there's nothing else that is running, they can traders can really go after this and run it up, and you can kind of like find the setup on it. But consider mid float low to the lower float, but if there's no liquidity in it, definitely be cautious, because you don't want to fall into the trap of big spread, and that is too dangerous for beginner traders. You can just simply avoid trading this. It's not really worth it. The only setup was on Monday, that you can kind of like accumulate as much as you could, and in the pre-market early, always early, and then you take your profit also early on this one. And that's why I was saying scalp strategy on this one was applied, and it really worked out. I didn't really want it too much out of this, because it was really easy to see that the stock doesn't do too much. And I think we had another runner on that day beside KITT. Yes, I think, yeah, we had Peggy the same day. So we had better setups to really focus on. Kit wasn't a good setup to take your focus, and you, you know you should avoid other setup. I mean, you can simply see that this is not a good pattern, in terms of when you compare it to other runners in the same day, like Peggy, which I'm gonna go over it right now. Peggy, one of those huge runner, great setup, A+ setup, and we nailed it from $1.84. We alerted this huge runner. So now you can kind of see that why these two are really different when they show up on the scanner. You can kind of differentiate them, which one is the better setup to trade and which one is not, which one has more valid criterias that you can put together and make your trade and execute. Obviously, your plan based on your criteria is going on. For me, it's definitely this was a great setup. Peggy, I less care about the KITT, because it wasn't the setup that I wanted to really focus on. But instead I focused on Peggy. I think there wasn't any specific news, but it wasn't. The stock is an energy sector. That day we had all these solar companies, and most of the energy sector were running. So stock had that some sort of action going on inside of it, and it really broke to the average of 4, which was very successful. Great setup. I will definitely look for this, watch for this for the Monday specifically, and throughout the week. I think if this range really consolidate, stock already had this multi-day runners. If we see it from it was for Tuesday, and then on our scanner we had it from Tuesday, and then it just kept going this trend line from the area, and then it was really running to this range that you can kind of see if it's tradable or if it's something that you should avoid. And throughout the day you see this pattern or shaping from the previous day, and you can expect that if the stock is really holding its gain to the max level, which right around this area, the open on I think it's Thursday, you can see that there are taking profits. It's just fading out. Coming people, short traders are going after it. You don't see that much around here. And then on the pre-market last last trade taking place here, and then another squeeze off, very weak, couldn't even break through the $5. So you can kind of see all the signs are matching, and then the stock is just fading out. So me personally think that this last fade out can really continue, and then go through go through another day and phase. Possibly can see a little bit of pullback at the open tomorrow, and that's why I'm looking at it for throughout the week to see if this fresh volume can really come in. And I think Peggy is considered as a low float. Yes, it's 5 million float, so it can't easily run back up if any fresh volume coming in. So next one, we had Lucy, and we traded this on Friday. It's an IPO, healthcare IPO runner. Definitely, if there will be a volume on this one, it can run back up to the range, but expect these pump and dump on IPOs, and it's too obvious when you look at them. You can kind of see that the stock is having this pump, and all of a sudden fade, and drop back to the range that it wasn't even before, making these new lows, and then squeeze back up. So these are the type of IPO small caps that you can kind of like see, and it's not really out of the sight. You can kind of it's really indicating that you can see if it's gonna really going for more or not. So based off that, you can decide that if this is a really good setup or not. So Lucy, for me, I would personally think if there will be a fresh volume again, it can really go back up, because stock is already at the lowest point, and it's already in it's an IPO. If there will be a news, because the news wasn't really that crazy to make this stock to hold its gain, you gotta always remember comparing the news and making sure any understanding the news. It's very important, and it's very essential, and making sure that the news makes sense for the stock or not. So Lucy, in my opinion, I think we're gonna see we're not gonna see too much of price action, possible just consolidation, and or either no action on the volume, unless if there will be a fresh volume to turn this on and drive the price back up. And that's usually for IPOs, and they're not gonna really like trade this every single day. I think that's the case for Lucy as well, like other IPOs similar to it. So Lucy, and then the last one we had Tops. Tops was one of those stock that I personally missed out on trading this. It was a great runner. I think Tops has been running for a few days. I did trade once before it hits this $11, and then it fade out, get out of my sight. I didn't really anticipate to on the short side of it, or really anything that I would like to do with it. There were other setups that I was paying attention to, so it was out of my sight. So whoever takes this, what our scanner really, you guys could catch it on our scanner. So that was a positive thing. If you guys traded, congrats. Yeah, I mean on Thursday it had this really fade out, and then last Friday um, short attack was really common, and I think it's still going on. I think Tops has let's see how many short float they have. Yeah, they don't have much of short float to really um, make that concern. Yeah. So it's a shipper stock. Usually, shipper stocks are uh, running for just the small gains, and shorts are really love shipping stocks. Personally, I do believe that it's a great it's a great sector to short during this time, because they're not gonna really hold much of their gains, and that's always the case for them based on the experience that I have with them and a lot of other traders. So cheaper, Tops, it can really squeeze back up and then fade out. You can see this fade. It failed here, this range, and it couldn't hold, and then back again. So I will keep this on the main watch, because there are more talk about this one all over the place. So you got to keep that in mind, that it's not just only one reason that stock can really drive back up. You got to make sure that all the reasons are in there, so you can make your plan for trading it. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. And we mainly focus on these four for now, and then I will expecting more new stocks obviously every week that we're gonna have. Keep that in mind. Don't let these stocks destroy your account. Don't really overtrade them. I mentioned that so many times, and make sure to have your plan. Don't really backhold this or swing them, especially at this time. During this time, make sure you always liquid and your cash ready, and making sure that you're following your trades, and you do not really make a decision based upon other people's opinion and all that. You just have to make sure that you find your edge and really follow it. And if it's not gonna really work out on that stock, there's always another opportunity. Just move on. Try to keep that mindset and the discipline in place for your next trade, if one doesn't work. That's about it. Lastly, I want to tell you guys, I think I mentioned on Friday, there's one reason that you can really become a really consistent trader, and that is if you journal your trades. Doesn't matter how you journal your trades. You can really do it by writing it on the paper every single day. I mean, if you're really traditional, you can do that, or you can use the Excel. Add profit and loss and make sure all your trades in place, and then review it, or use the softwares that can really automate that for you. This is our partner, Trademetria. It's a great tool. It's a great software that you can use, and make sure to have your I would highly recommend to all members to have your journal software, or whatever that you do. Or even if you record a video of your trade, that's one way to do it. Make sure to do it. Review your trades, because if you don't really review your trade, you don't really learn from your mistake, or even if from your wins, you don't even find your strategy. I mean, if you think that you're making consistent amount of profit every single day, and one day you realize, oh, all of these gains are gone, and you don't have a reason for those, for that one loss and for those wins that you made, it takes you back to the square one. So that's not what you want to do. That's not how you can become a full-time trader. So always journal. Always make sure to have your journal set up. Use their tools. They're very user friendly. You can do whatever you want. They really set up your account for you. You put your all the transaction from your broker. You upload it to their software, and then it automatically shows you all your trades throughout the years or quarter or whenever that you had that. So anyway, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our email newsletter, so you can receive all these materials, all the watch lists that we talked about today into your email, and I also posted on our channel. So take care, team. Talk to you guys Monday morning.